I Was Tormented by a Dog While Babysitting. I don't think it was a dog. $20 per hour. That was the pay rate, and the reason I accepted the babysitting job I'd been looking at for the past couple of weeks. Adding on to that, the parents both worked full-time, which was the whole reason this babysitting thing happened in the first place. I do have a job, it's just that I'm close to finishing my senior year of high school, and I want to have at least a little bit of extra cash for college. No broke girl here. And it's no small sum of cash either. The father, David, is a lawyer, and the mother, Lindsay, is a dentist, so I guess the money is just burning holes in their pockets. No complaints here, though. According to the posts I saw on Facebook, it will be a week-long process, but it was only overnight, and I have next to nothing for schoolwork anymore. Looking for an evening babysitter. Preferably local if you're able to. Requirements. 1. Have some experience in taking care of children. Our daughter isn't high maintenance, but you should still be able to care for her. 2. Have your license and a car. 3. No history of crime or violations of any kind. 4. Be a female sitter. No prejudices, we've just agreed that we feel more comfortable with a female sitter. 5. Call every 2 to 3 hours to give any updates, or just let our daughter say hi to us. 6. If you're babysitting for us, then any of our food is your food too. Oh, in addition to that, feel free to use any of our appliances. Once again, if you're babysitting for us, then what's ours is yours. 7. Sitting sessions will start at 6 p.m. and end around 5 a.m., so about 11 hours. 8. Lastly, if any dogs try to get in the house, don't let them. We don't own any pets, and there have been multiple dogs stalking the area around our house for the last few weeks. 9. Okay, lastly, our daughter's name is Emily. Lastly, there's a small rock in the driveway next to the front door. If you shine your light on it, it sparkles. There's a key to the house in it. That's how you'll get in. Alright, thank you. Emily is a bit strange, but she's a wonderful kid, and I'm sure you two will have a great time. So these were the only requirements. Seems like it would be an easy gig. It was a Thursday night, 5:45 p.m., and I was just getting ready to drive over to the house. According to my map app, it would only take about 10 minutes. The parents told me prior that the daytime sitter left around 6, so there was a chance I'd run into them. 5:55 p.m. Pulling into the driveway, I saw that my car was the only one there. I guess the day sitter left a little early? Whatever. I was here now, so it was fine. I got out of my car and genuinely had to stop and look at the house I was standing in front of. It looked to be 2 stories and the exact archetype of the rich people home, but I wasn't complaining. Taking the advice from the post, I shone my light upon the rocks in the driveway until it came upon one that glittered. Using the key, I let myself in. There, sitting on the couch, watching some cartoon, was Emily. She was really short, blonde hair, all that stuff. She looked over at me and smiled.
Are you my babysitter?
She seemed friendly enough, so I responded in kind. Yep, I hope you're okay with me.
You look nice.
And that was it. I set my bag on the counter and went over to the couch, plopping down right next to Emily. I began to ask her some questions. So, what's up?
I'm watching my favorite show.
Oh, yeah? I responded, looking over to the television where a loud, energetic show was playing. Whatever entertained the kid, I suppose.
Yeah,
She said, kicking her feet. How old are you, Emily? She looked down and then up at me with a smile.
I'm 7.
Cool. I'm 18, but I'll be 19 in a few months.
Do you know what time it is?
I looked at my phone. 6:16. Wow. I didn't realize just how long we'd been talking for. Emily must have been hungry, so I asked her if she wanted dinner.
Yeah.
And to the kitchen we went. I rummaged through the fridge and I couldn't find any leftovers, which meant that I was going to have to cook for the both of us. You guys got anything in the pantry? Emily shrugged.
Maybe. I'm not tall enough to reach it, so Mama and Dada will help me with it.
I opened up the pantry and looked through it. Flour. Beans? A jar of peanut butter? I'm in a goddamn ingredient house, I thought to myself. Then I saw it. It was a box of macaroni and cheese, second to the top shelf. I grabbed it and put it on the counter. Okay, I said, opening the fridge again. Well, let's find some meat for this pasta. Hot dogs. As the water boiled, I saw Emily sitting at the dining table. looking out at the big double windows showing the backyard. I figured something was wrong, so I decided to see what was up. "Hey," I said, sitting down next to her. "Something up?" Her next words froze me in place.
I don't like the way that dog is looking at me.
I was shocked and nervous all at the same time. That dog? The list of requirements rang at my head again. If any dogs try to get in the house, don't let them. We don't own any pets. No pets. No pets. But this dog was right there. A full-grown pit bull. No pets. So then why the hell was there a dog out in the yard? "Emily," I asked, fear holding my heart with an iron grip. "Do you know that dog?"
No.
Just then, I heard the splash of water and looked over to the kitchen where the pot was waiting for the pasta. Water was flowing out of it quickly, so I had to go over and stop it. Just as I took it off the heat, I heard Emily scream.
No!
I rushed over, nearly slipping on the spilled water. She was still at the table, but she was balled up, knees to her chest, and her arms wrapped around them. She was in the beginning stages of a crying fit. "What?" I yelled. "What happened?" Emily looked at me, her face slicked with tears, and pointed out into the yard.
The dog is gone!
I looked to where she pointed, and it was as she said. That goddamn dog was gone. "Okay, did you see where it went?" I asked, holding Emily by the shoulders.
It went that way,"
she replied, pointing to the leftmost direction outside. I rushed over to the leftmost part of the house inside and looked out the window. My heart began to beat rapidly in my chest. There, out in the driveway, was another dog? This one looked like a Doberman. Where had the pit bull gone? Never mind that. There was more important things happening. It was standing on its hind legs, looking right at me. I felt Emily come up behind me and grab my hand.
What is it doing?
I looked down at her and I lied. "I think it's doing a trick. You go upstairs. I don't think you'll have to look at it there." I pointed up the stairs. Emily obliged and went up to what I assumed was her room. I turned back. The dog was at the door now. The only thing separating us was a big piece of wood. "What do you want?" I yelled. It was a pointless effort, but I was out of options. All that came from the other side were some taps on the door, clacking sounds like nails on wood. I went up to the door and locked it. Not that I thought it would do anything, I just had to placate myself. "What the hell do you want?" It wouldn't answer. I didn't like hurting animals, but again, I was out of options. I grabbed a rolling pin from the kitchen and unlocked the front door. I readied the pin and carefully opened the door. It wasn't there. I looked around. The dog just wasn't there. Not in the street, not in the driveway, nowhere. I just couldn't see it. I went out into the street and looked around. Nope, nothing was there. I laughed at myself. Ah, moron. It was just a dog. You're in a suburb. Of course you're going to see a dog. My inner monologue was cut short by the heart-wrenching sound of one of the windows in the house shattering. I snapped out of my stupor. Emily. I rushed back to the house, and by the time I got inside, I could already hear the sounds of nails clacking on the hardwood floors. I bounded up the stairs. Making sure Emily was safe was the only thing on my mind, so I wasn't exactly thinking of myself. The hallway was long. There were about 5 rooms, but the only one with the door open was what I assumed was Emily's room. I rushed down to the doorway and stepped inside the room. "Emily, are you okay?" I asked, panting from the sudden exertion of energy. Her window was open, and the dog wasn't in there. I did notice some black dog hairs on the floor, so I assumed it must have jumped out the window. Emily was crying, but she quickly stopped. I kneeled down next to her and put a hand on her shoulder. "Hey, you doing okay? That dog was pretty scary, but I think it's gone now." Emily looked up at me. The tips of her brunette hair darkened with tears.
I'm okay. Thank you for taking care of the dog.
"Yeah, no problem. I don't know, we'll do something." I ended up ordering some pizza, and we just sat on the couch watching movies. I put her to bed around 8 p.m. and stood in the room keeping watch over her. Nothing did end up happening for the rest of the night until 5 a.m., when her parents got home. I didn't tell them the whole truth. There were a couple of dogs and they barked and clawed at the doors. I kept Emily upstairs and she's safe. It was scary, but we're okay. They accepted my answer and gave me $220 in cash. I thanked them and said I'd be back again tonight at 6 p.m. I think they like me, which is nice because Emily is a good kid. About halfway through third period, I received a text message from Emily's mother, Lindsay. 11:35. Hey, did you dye Emily's hair last night? I won't be mad if you did, but if you're going to do stuff like that, you need to tell us. I was confused, but I responded anyways. No? Does she not have brunette hair? I'm sorry if there's any confusion, but I didn't dye her hair. The 3 dots came on and off the screen before Lindsay replied again. No, she doesn't have brunette hair. She's a natural blonde. So either you did dye her hair or you're lying to me. My heartbeat began to rise. What did she mean? Was Emily not a natural brunette? A realization hit me so hard, I thought I'd pass out right there at my desk. I quickly responded to Lynn. Check under Emily's bed and check outside in the bushes near the front door. Please do it quickly. After a few minutes, she texted me again. What the fuck? They aren't carcasses, but Jesus! It looks like someone skinned these dogs and left just, well, the skin. What the hell? What do you know about this? I responded, fingers shaking. What kind of dogs did the skins look like? She responded with something I'd hoped she wouldn't say. A Doberman and a pit bull. Skins, but no bodies. Skins without bodies. Skins. Skins. Oh God, what the hell is happening? I put my phone down and cradled my head in my hands. I couldn't see them again. Not in person. I didn't know what was going to happen to that family, but I knew one thing. If they were in that house with whatever was wearing Emily's skin, they weren't safe. I was just thinking of how bad it'd be if Lindsay found Emily's skin in her room when I received one last text from her. I think something's in the closet. I can see streaks of blonde hair coming through the slits in the door. I'm gonna open it. I don't think I'm gonna babysit for this family anymore. Just work with it. Okay. Oh, now I'm off the page. No, fuck, dude. What am I doing? There we go. Kids screaming outside. It's like blood-curdling screams. What the fuck? I gotta assume they're fine. I don't think any. They must be playing. Okay, let's get back on track. And that was I Was Tormented by a Dog While Babysitting. I don't think it was a dog. Now, sadly, the person that I requested this from, their account no longer exists on Reddit, and I have no trace evidence of who they were. I have the message confirming I got permission, everything like that, from the account before it was deleted, but now it just shows up as deleted. So I do apologize. About that. But either way, I will link to this story, and hopefully the original author will be able to find a way to get in contact. That'd be cool. Because again, credit is important in my opinion. So this story is awesome. This story is really fun because it kind of covers a lot of things that I really like about a story. So you've got a fairly average sounding experience. Somebody has to do some babysitting, no problem. It's a little bit lucrative. It's a little bit interesting with some of the rules, and the pay is incredibly good, which certainly is a bit of a suspicious flag, perhaps, but I wouldn't call it a red flag. Because yet again, some people have money, and therefore they might be willing to spend more money to solve their problems. So I understand that. And I think for me, the first thing that really kind of started getting to me immediately was the fact that it's like, we don't own any pets. There have been multiple dogs stalking the area around our house. Multiple? Now, I even in the blooper that's coming out later on this month, in there, I even mentioned, I was like, that's really weird that you mentioned there's like multiple. Like, I'd usually think in a neighborhood, maybe there's like one, right? There might be one random dog that's let out and maybe does weird stuff and shenanigans and maybe goes into your yard and stuff. One, I think, would be something. But multiple is more interesting. Is it like a wild pack of dogs? Is there something else going on? And of course there's something else going on. I didn't know what level of something we were dealing with. And I think what I really liked was the fact that, so early on, suspicious dog, nothing really crazy, just the dog looking in, scaring the kid. Which is kind of weird, I guess. Maybe Emily's afraid of dogs. Maybe that's just like a thing. Maybe that's part of the reason why it's one of the rules, right? But then they see a different dog within a very short span of time. Almost like the dog is transformed or shapeshifted or something like that. Obviously not an actual dog, right? Is what I thought. In which case, especially with it standing on hind legs, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is like a skinwalker type situation. That's really fun. That's really cool. I like that kind of stuff. And then, it somehow is... Well, we know how it gets in the house because our protagonist decides to rush outside with a rolling pin, not close the door behind them. Silly. So anyway, yeah, the dog gets in. We don't know what happens. But the thing that I found to be even more suspicious... I wonder, hang on, I just need to confirm something. Because if I remember right... Oh, I didn't even realize. Oh, shit. I've just glanced back, and I thought the story started that when she saw Emily, she was already a brunette. In which case, that would have made me think that something happened before. But no, at the start of the story, when she meets Emily, she has blonde hair. But then when she rescues her in her room, she has brunette hair. But it's played off like it's so easy to miss. That's you know what? Wow, that's incredible. So therefore, that means that when the dog got up there, whatever this creature is, it swapped places. It became Emily. Oh, dude. Okay, well, now that's hardcore. That's awesome. This story, it's creepy as fuck. Especially leaving, like, the skins. I mean, it makes a lot more sense now why the skins were under the bed and stuff like that. Clearly he's able to swap costumes or whatever. Oh my god, it's so creepy. It's so creepy the more you think about it. So yeah, this story, fantastic story. Now, naturally, like I said, bringing up the idea of skinwalkers, that makes me think of a lot of things. The stories make me think mainly of skinwalker type stories. You've also got the stuff about Skinwalker Ranch, which occasionally has skinwalker activity, but it's not always skinwalker activity. There's a lot of like UFO, UAP stuff. But the concept of skinwalkers, but it's not that they like literally put on different skins. It's more like they shapeshift, right? That's like the thing. But they call them skinwalkers because they can walk another creature's skin. That's like it's clever. It's very cool, very clever. The other thing this made me think of, because it's talking about like skin and wearing skin and loose skin and stuff, is one of my favorite movies of all time, The Silence of the Lambs. And that's because the killer that the FBI is trying to catch, his name is Buffalo Bill. And the thing about Buffalo Bill is he cuts off people's skin. It's pretty hardcore. I think he makes like some furniture out of it and stuff like that. It's fucking wild. It's very cool. I think also, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well, because he makes like masks out of people's like faces, right? I think that was a thing. So yeah, those are cool things I thought about. This was fun. This was a great story, and I've really enjoyed it, and I sure hope you have too. I have been Nate at Night, and I will see you for whatever's next. Take care out there. Shout out to these cool peeps. Seriously, we wouldn't have got this far without them. You're all amazing. I love you all so much. Honestly, it's tremendous work you do. Supporting the channel, keeping us afloat. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You too could become a cool peep for just $1 a month. What that's going to get you is 2 weeks early access to future videos. It's also going to get you exclusive members-only content. And there might be extra goodies coming along the way. What can I say? I'm just charitable like that. Or you can become super cool. Now that's $5 a month, but what you're going to get out of that is all the perks from the previous tier, plus also 10% discount on future merchandise, and also access to my private Discord server with a fantastic little community that we have, where I plan on hosting monthly movie nights and also weekly casual hangouts. You can also show your support by tipping through either Super Chats, Super Thanks, both on YouTube, or through my Streamlabs.com URL, which will be in the description of future videos below. Cheers for now, guys!